Everybody likes a ghost story, right? So tonight we're going to tell you not one, but several. And they all come from one place, still somewhat isolated, in the Davis County community of Kaysville. Now, we're not treating this dimension lightly, nor are we treating it seriously. Just somewhere in between, if you will, observing a piece of folklore alive and well in this small northern Utah town. Every town seems to have its haunting place. Somewhere past Main Street on a small road, there is an old house, a cemetery, a landmark, an abandoned whatever that everybody talks about. Folklore is passed on. Old folks tell their kids, kids tell their kids, and the kids tell their friends. The cycle is endless and goes on until the haunting place becomes tradition, as much a part of the town as the museum or the high school winning football team. Down an old dirt road past the cemetery in a hollow in the woods is Kaysville's spookin' place. K's Cross, as it's called, a stone cross almost 15 feet high with the letter K carved on two sides. Rumors about the cross abound. Longtime residents claim it was built in the late 1940s by a religious group that practiced polygamy. They say the K represents the name of one of the leaders of that group. Some even claim the site is a burial ground where families of the cult are buried. The truth is that there is an old stone cross there, and that it may have been a part of an old building or built separately as a marker. Because the religious group remained somewhat isolated from the town, the truth became distorted with folklore, and the ghost stories of K's Cross began to spread. Now the cross has become a gathering place for teenagers who like to party and scare each other, and this has created a headache for Kaysville police.
It seems that this K's Cross has earned some kind of charisma or something throughout this area, and kids come down over the hills and into this area from all over the county as far as Ogden and Bountiful to see this monument.
Well, most of the calls that we get down there now are for kids that are going down there and having beer parties and or smoking marijuana and that type of thing.
We wanted to hear some of the ghost stories from K's Cross. Most now are told in high school circles, and 6 students from Davis High School volunteered to talk to us. With some camera trickery and special effects, we've tried to create a visual mood here that seems to be appropriate to the legends.
I've been down there a couple of times and been chased away by somebody that I haven't seen, and there's really an eerie feeling that surrounds the place. It's set down in a little grove and a big tree that overhangs it, and it's the legend goes that after he buried his wife, he hung himself on that tree.
We went down there, the other times I've been there, nothing happened to me or anything. And we went down from the north side, and as soon as we saw the cross, there was a figure sitting on the top of it. And it looked like a female figure in a long dress, but it was pretty far away and it was nighttime. And the girl that I was with just turned around and started running. And I went around to grab her, and I caught her, and I turned around again to look back at the cross, and there was nothing on the cross anymore.
I live about 2 blocks away from the cross, so we walked over there and walked through the cemetery. And at the north end of the cemetery, there's not a lot of graves. It's just mostly grass before you go down to see the cross. And we walked down there, and as we were descending down the hill and around sort of like the tunnel that goes to the cross, we heard a scream. And it was like someone was crying, and it was really strange. And I was the most scared because I didn't want to go in the first place.
I took her down. There's two big trees that you just walk through, and it gapes right open, and the cross is right there before you. And she turned around and started heading out, and she was just running full speed, and a couple friends behind me thought she was just spoofing. And then they found she was crying real bad, and she didn't. She was pretty serious about it, and I got up there, and it's the first time I'd ever had a girl really come out and cry on me, and I didn't really know what to say to her.
As I was climbing up on the cross, it seemed like that there was something around, and I didn't know. It was kind of hokey to me. And I got up on top of the cross, and I was talking to my friend, and I couldn't hear him. And our flashlights went out, and I don't know. Needless to say, I was a little bit worried. And as we reached the car, the lights turned back on, and we left, and that's the last time I've been there.
Usually, there's like crickets chirping and things like that, but on this day there was nothing. And we proceeded down the path a little further, I'd say approximately 100 feet. And when we got to this point, all of a sudden there was just this feeling that hit us. And it was like there was no way we should go any further. And we decided right there, I mean, no more laughing, no more talking. That's it, let's go. So we turned around and started to leave. And as we were headed out, there was rustling in the bushes off to the left side of us. And I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like there's no feeling like that you can describe. And we beat our path clear up to the car.
There are other stories, too. If you stand in the right place at the right time, according to legend, the cross will glow. Our visual trickery here can create that impression, but we're really not sure this is what people claim they see from the infamous Kaysville Hollow. A good ghost story knows no age limit, and while neighbors are more realistic about what really happens there, they still savor the tales and the mystery, and they like to perpetuate the legends that now are so much a part of the town.
Well, you stand on top of the cross, and it's this big, huge, massive pile of stones hooked together, and you stand on it, on the top of it, and it just doesn't seem to be still. It'll move underneath your feet. And so it looks like it's sturdy enough. I mean, I'm an engineering student. It looks like it ought to stand up, but it must be, it moves a little bit.
Sometimes I think I see things standing on the side, little white figures.
Have you felt spooked being around it?
Oh, not really spooked of the cross. I'm scared of skunks, but not.
Jim's fear of skunks is real, since they frequently wander down into the hollow. So many of those rustling sounds in the bushes are most likely skunks, not ghosts. The legend of Kay's Cross will perpetuate itself as long as it remains hidden in a hollow, and as long as kids already psyched up for fright pay it a visit. A warning, though, it is private property, and police will continue to make every effort to keep trespassers out of the area.